Capricorn, welcome back to another episode of Solari Tarot. It is Greg. It is insane that I'm here with you right now. How have you been? We're going to be doing your reading for September 2022, and we're going to be doing your astrology as well. If you have wondered where I have been, what's been going on in my world and in my life, I posted a video that I'll link in the description box called Whisper of the Gods. I'd love for you to check it out. It's a video talking about where I've been, what's been going on, and what I believe in coming back to this channel as a YouTube tarot reader and how we can do that in a healthy way. Yes. So if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe, Capricorn. And we're gonna do things a little differently than we used to. We're gonna start with your astrology. I've also pulled you some oracle cards we're gonna go over here. And then we're gonna finally pull some tarot. So let's get right in and let's look at your astrology. And you're starting off the month, folks, with a bang. So you have Mercury in your 10th house opposing excuse me. I have a little cough, my bad. Excuse me, Mercury in the 10th house opposing Jupiter on September 2nd. We're feeling pretty confident about what we're accomplishing in our Pentacles-based life, in our work life. We're feeling good about the things that we're doing, and we might even have a tendency to be overconfident. So, you know, I want to remind you, too much confidence might make it harder to make something happen. So make sure that you're really focused. You may be getting a lot of acknowledgements this month off of your work, but if you're overcommitting and not able to kind of give what you've promised, it's gonna look bad. Also, don't forget we have Mercury stationing retrograde for all of us, of course, in your 10th house on the 9th. This could lead to some complications, especially with your bosses. You could be, once again, you could be over-promising. And your confidence is telling you that you can do this, but you're not able to follow through. So it's better to under-promise and over-perform, yes? This will be a big theme for you during this retrograde. Instead of moving full steam ahead at this time, we need to be making sure, Capricorn, that we're getting everything right, that we're paying attention to all of the details that need to be taken care of, and that we're approaching this in the right way. Now, we have a full moon in Pisces. This is gonna be in your 3rd house of communication. So you're gonna be asking all the questions that you've been wanting to know. You're setting the record straight, you're communicating well, your message is getting through, and you're asking the questions that you need from someone else. Make sure that you're clear on what you want so that you can communicate clearly. Now, if any of the month goes awry in terms of your work life, you will have a very navigating September 18th. Mercury retrograde's forming an opposition with Jupiter in your 4th house of home and family. So there could be some deals that a family member or a relative offer to you that are just too good to be true. You may be coming back to a project that you hadn't finished and offering a new, fresh idea around it. And things could be looking promising again. But Venus is going to form an opposition with Neptune on the 24th of this month. So make sure you're not walled off in your own comfort zone, and make sure you're not distracted from what you really want to be doing at this time. Now, we have a new moon in Libra on the 25th as well. It's going to be in your 10th house of public image. So people are taking notice to the work that you're doing. Just make sure that you are paying attention and focus on the work that you're doing. I see we have Ymir here, which is a card about the creative struggle. And, sorry folks. So this is about what we're creating and kind of the churning of that here this month, what we're bringing into the world and how we're fighting for it is a very big question for you in the month of September. And I think as you start the month, you're feeling really inspired and you're feeling really creative and you're feeling very confident. Once again, just make sure that you're staying in that lane and not letting it create things that you might need to get done that you've realized now are far beyond what you're able to offer. However, we have the bee spirit as your animal totem for the month. Sweet results await. I love this card. It is so interesting when we think about honey and how it's created. And also really that how much effort from the part of the honeybee goes into just a small quantity of honey. So when we have a bottle in our cupboard that we don't even understand how much physical energy and work went in just by the animal alone into creating that process and that product. And this month is all about doing all the work because the bees can't rush this process. They have to work very hard and they're consistent, but they know exactly what they're doing here. They know exactly what they're creating, and even if it's just a little bit of nectar, they're creating something of good quality. Make sure this month that you have your eye on the prize. There is a tendency with the forest here as your archetype card to get lost, or to just kind of be in the pathless woods as to what you're creating. And we have a lot of eyes on you, particularly at the beginning and the end of the month. So people are taking notice to what you're creating. Make sure that you're fighting for it. We have the sword here. The sword is a tool, just like the tarot. But the way that we wield it and the efficiency of our wielding is going to determine what kind of ending we get from the scenario. If you don't know how to use the sword, or you're not fully educated on it, you could cut yourself. You could do more than that. If you're out there swinging around a sword and you really don't know how to use one, it could be the greatest tool for you, and it could slay the metaphorical demon of the next tier of your life, but it also could cut you if you don't have all the details. This month, we're focusing on having all of the details. Let's get into your tarot as well. Capricorn, September 2022, what is the message? Everybody take a big deep breath. Capricorn, what is our message for Capricorn, September 2022? What are we looking at here this month for Cappies? How have you guys been doing? It's so good to be back here with you. I've been having a lot of fun, actually, filming these readings for you. I'm so excited to be here. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we're starting the reading with the Page of Cups. Let's pull a couple more as well. I think we have a big insight as to what we're creating. And also, I think that we're inspired right now, for sure, as to what it is that we're creating. But I think in the middle of the month, yep, Five of Pentacles, this came out for Virgo as well, but once again, by the middle of the month, I think that we could be having a struggle. And you'll notice here that Ymir says at the bottom, artistic struggle. Kind of that knowing what we want to create, but having an issue with it, with bringing it into our world. And, there could be parts of you that know this month that there are so many great things that are to be created, but you don't have the context to see it in your physical world right now. And it's creating perhaps a tendency to get out of flow with it. Because, so don't get distracted this month, particularly around that Piscean moon. Because I think sometimes when we're doing work that we know is gonna have a follow through at some point, but we're not directly seeing results, it can be easy to be distracted or to just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna focus on something mundane and silly for the next few days and just check out from it. And I don't think that's the way to go here. This is kind of the swinging the sword around and saying, oh, screw it. I cut my finger. I don't know how to use this thing. I think the training is necessary right now. We have the Lovers coming out. And this is coming out in a very, what decision am I making? We're coming toward crossroads energy. And for you, this new moon in Libra that's happening on the 25th is going to be all about a new beginning. And I think at the end of the month, this is when the Lovers crossroads energy is going to come into play. Because we want to know when we're at that crossroads, which is what the Lovers is a reference of here, which direction that we're going. And the GPS of what path to take in life is an internal one. It's programmed into us. We already have that. So I think that even though we're not seeing those results at this time, we are understanding which path we need to take to get closer to bringing those into our lives. We have the Eight of Swords, and we might also be understanding that in some way we are our own problem and that we might be too close to it, right? Eight of Swords here, a person is very loosely wrapped up. They're also blindfolded and they're covered in 8 swords, but they are really not as trapped as they think they are. Things are not as bad as they think that they are. They're just blind to what's really going on. This can be self-imposed restriction, and it can be mental health issues or just that negative self-talk that tells us, well, you know what, I've had this dream and I've wanted to see results from it and I've been working on it and I'm just not seeing, I've been feeling confident, but I'm not, and I'm seeing that other people are taking notice of me, but I'm not seeing that payoff that I thought I would see. And there is that payoff coming to you as we move out of Mercury retrograde. So this is a time to be at the crossroads and know which decision to make and not be trapped in your head about it. Yes? Let's pull more. Let's pull a couple more and get some context on this middle row here. Capricorn. Okay. We have the Four of Cups. Once again, just generally feeling, this is not it. The vibes are off. I don't know why I'm not seeing the results of something that I've wanted to see the results in my life. And I'm inspired by it, and I'm motivated by it, and I love it, and I'm passionate about what I have going on. And, I've always wanted to do this, or I've always wanted to live in this way. And I think that we're missing the miracle, quite frankly. This opportunity during the retrograde to slow down, settle in, and get all the details about something so that we can use that sword, right, more efficiently and really know what we're doing. You'll notice on the Four of Cups here, there is a hand, a magical hand that is peering out of seemingly nowhere. And just like in the Five of Cups, that the perspective is off, we are sitting in front of 3 cups, and honestly, looking at the card, they could be empty. They're upright though, maybe they're not, right? They're not spilled over like in the Five of Cups. But for whatever reason, we don't like the taste, or it's not enough, or what we've created, is just not exactly what we thought it would be. We're underwhelmed. We're ready for more. We feel complacent, complicit. We feel stagnant. Sorry, I had to spit that out there. But you'll notice that the universe is giving us a hand from behind here. That there is an opportunity to see something in a different way and to get all of the details about something. And once again, there could be some opportunities coming to you in quite strange ways, from your family. Your family could be offering you some opportunity in some way, or some old project that you've shelved that you want to bring back up and work on again. But I think you're starting to feel like, I'm in the forest, Judgment card. Yeah, it's just time to wake up and smell the change happening around you. I also want to say that we could be resurrecting something that we were once really interested in or passionate about, but we put to the side because we didn't see immediate development within it, right? We were working on something, we were feeling really good about it, and as we went out there into the world, or continue to try to make it a thing, whatever this is for you, whether this was a project you were working on, or it could even, it could be a person, a lover in some way. For some of you, if it is a love situation, it could be like you really realize that what you thought you wanted, you don't want now. Your value has changed on what you want. You're looking for a different kind of result. And I think we're coming to terms with that. And I think, quite frankly, we're waking up to what that desire that we have really is. Let's pull a final row here as well. Okay. Yeah, we have the strength sitting in the root, in the spine of your reading here. This is Leo energy, of course. But what we're looking at here, I love this card. It is my favorite card that represents Leo in its perfect way, because when we look at this card, oftentimes we immediately think about the strength that it takes, the strength of the lion, right? The brute, primordial, natural, predatory strength of something like a lion that's depicted here on the card. But this card is not about the lion at all. It's about the woman here that is taming the lion. And as you can see, if you look a little closer, this lion has its tongue out. It likes her. It's happy to be with her. You can see that she's worked on her own inner alchemy with this symbol here, the infinity symbol above her, and that she is able to tame the lion. So the card is not about the brute strength of the lion. It is about the inner strength of endurance that it takes to tame something so primordially powerful and distill it into something domestic. You this month, Capricorn, are working on distilling this. You're working on the way you wield the sword. And towards the end of the month, you might be saying, hey, I'm getting the hang of this sword wielding thing. I think I'm getting the hang of all this. But you could have a month in September where you might feel, like you failed in some way. And I want to be the first to tell you, you haven't failed. You've simply come to a crossroads where this Four of Cups is trying to remind you that there is this opportunity out of your current perspective that is available to you. There is also this process of taming the lion that is really important here for you in the month of September. Let's pull two more. Okay, this one. Okay, we have, very good, Ace of Swords, the sword. Do you see what I'm trying to say? The Ace of Swords references a victory, a mental fog lifting, moving into a directed path ahead. So towards the end of the month here, end of September, we are making a definitive direction. Just like I said less than a minute prior with this sword card here, we are saying, hey, I think I'm getting the hang of this sword wielding thing. Definitely hard work paying off, but this is because, once again, you're seeing all the details of something. You're stepping back during this retrograde, as all of us are doing, and you're looking at the full picture. And because of this, Ace of Swords, the bee spirit, sweet results await. The Ace of Swords is a result. It is results. So I see results certainly coming in for you. We have Ace of Wands on the bottom. Look at that, just opening a new door. Now this is gonna happen at that new moon in Libra on the 25th. This is right around the time that you're gonna start seeing this kind of energy, right? It's in your 10th house. You may realize that there's still a lot of work to do when it comes to making this happen, but this is the time. You're putting your best foot forward here. Okay. And finally, we have the Seven of Cups. Many options available to you at this time, many movements forward. I've been kind of telling everyone in some way to be cautionary around the Pisces moon, just because there's a sense that we could want to check out. And there is that energy for you here. I think for you, though, mostly, that's going to be at that when Venus forms the opposition with Neptune on the 24th, right around the time of that new moon. I think that there's going to be this sense that you want to check out, but I would highly suggest you check in rather than checking out. Now in your diagonal here, we have the Ace of Swords up to the Eight of Swords, up to the Five of Pentacles here. So looks like victory when it comes to your mind, what's holding you back from what you're accomplishing, and the physical circumstances of what's holding you back as well. Now in this diagonal, we have a lot of choices that need to be made. And I want to mention that in this diagonal, you have the Lovers here and the Seven of Cups, both in the same diagonal going down. So there could be this confoundingness around what path it is that you're taking. So once again, it's very important that you're slowing down and looking objectively at these things. Once we move into October, there's going to be some interesting astrology towards the end of the month. We have Mars moving into Gemini and then going retrograde there for 7 months, which is quite unusual. It only happens usually for about 6 to 7 weeks. So we have progressions in a lot of these areas of our lives at this time. And for you, the astrology is looking good in you being acknowledged for the hard work that you're doing. But once again, you might not be feeling like you're seeing the physical result of all of the work that you've done. Which is why we're going back to this bee spirit, and we are remembering the process of creating honey and how complex it is, and how one bee's non-stop devoted work only yields such a small amount of the honey that we have probably just in our cupboard alone. So there is a lot of work, and you have a to-do list that could be shaping up for you here in the month of September. There's no doubt. I want to remind you at the beginning of the month, let's be really confident, but let's not be overconfident. If we're overconfident, we might be over-promising. So it's best this month to be under-promising and over-perform. So that someone is saying, man, they really did more than they said they were going to do, rather than, man, they really did less than they said they were going to do. Your reputation in your career life, or whatever you're trying to create into the world, for some of you, your artistic life, your reputation can take a long time to repair. It can take a long time to repair something that goes wrong. So it's best to be ahead of that curve, yes? Now, you may have an interesting month. All of us are having an interesting Mercury retrograde. For Earth signs, you and Virgo, in different ways, but similarly, we are setting new boundaries and we are moving into new spaces. So you have some new beginning energy at the end of the month. You're going to be thankful for that Ace of Swords when it comes in. Just use this month to get objective about what you're doing. Guys, let me know in the comments below how you see this channel moving forward. Do you what kind of videos are you looking for here on the channel? I also have an interest in posting some ritual videos about the Wheel of the Year and how the tarot very much reflects the Witch's Wheel of the Year, and how that cycle of nature on an annual basis, we are always mirroring with nature in our own spiritual lives. I think it's helpful to know about those things. I have posted lots of videos on the past on the channel about Sabbats and these kinds of things, but if you'd be interested in more specialty videos for the seasons of the year, similar to the Whisper of the Gods video that I posted, let me know in the comments. I love you. I'm thankful to be back here with you again. It's lovely to share this time with you. Reading tarot cards is something that I can do, but also something that I really do enjoy doing for you. So I'm always thankful to be here on the channel. Once again, like, share, comment, subscribe if you desire, if you are moved by this reading. Thank you so much. Please make sure to use tarot in a constructive way as a tool and not to make your mental health worse or to convince you of things just because you want to hear them. If you are willing to take the brave warrior's journey with the tarot, the real fool's journey, that is the kind of shit we're doing over here. So I'd be happy to have you. I love you. I'll see you later on in the month. We're gonna have more videos, and take care of yourselves. And start to think about what it is that you're creating. I love you. Goodbye.